Hello and welcome to part 3 of my Canuxsploitation-A-Thon. We're taking a bit of a step back for today's movie since unlike the last one I did, this one isn't available on DVD. Well, okay, you can get a DVD-R of the movie on Amazon for the bargain price of only $150. Wow, doesn't this DVD transfer look worth the money? Actually, one place it is available on DVD is as a clip in the 50 Worst Movies Ever Made compilation. Oh boy, is there anything in this movie worth my time?
Now listen, I want you to put one in this burner's block. I think I got a fix on that gas jockey.
Holy shit, he's back! Alright, I don't want the sound muted on this video, so I can't play the whole intro. Still, it is nice to see that this Canadian movie has a real American like Doug McClure in it. Oh, right, the movie. Firebird 2015 AD is a 1981... I guess sci-fi film? There really isn't anything futuristic in it, and it technically takes place in the past now, so does that make it some kind of weird period drama? The premise of the movie is... Actually, you know what? Why don't I just let the movie's theme song explain?
It was a black day in August 1992 when Congress said, hey buddy, no more oil for you. There's enough for our leaders in the military force. So buddy, don't complain, just get out and get a horse.
Oh yeah, I remember 1992. A loudmouth billionaire was running against a Clinton for the White House. Theaters were full of sequels, and the president of Brazil got impeached. My, how times change. So due to an oil shortage, the US government outlaws private car use, but a small group of people called burners still drive cars as the ultimate form of rebellion. It's sorta like Mad Max, only without all the awesome stunts and crazy characters. What's even weirder is, according to the song, the government did this for seemingly no reason.
Gonna bust the DVC, let the people drive around, 'cause there's still a lot of oil sitting idle in the ground.
Wait, so if there's still lots of oil, then why did the government outlaw cars? Did they do this just to fuck with people? Anyway, Darren McGavin plays a burner called Red, and you can tell it's the future because his jacket's all silver and shiny. Red's helping another burner transport a senator who wants to make cars legal again, but he can't pick him up himself since he's too busy working on his own car. If you listen very carefully during this part, you can actually hear all the gearheads in the audience getting a boner. Red's son, Cameron, sneaks in to take a look at the Firebird, but something tells me Red doesn't want him there.
I figured it was you.
Yeah, I don't blame Red. Last time his son tried to help him with the car, this happened.
There we go.
Oh, fudge.
Also, is Red creating Frankenstein in there? Why is he dressed like that? Cameron's a little estranged from his father, mainly because he was more interested in working on his car than raising his son.
Yeah, well, you're still breaking the law. And you're wasting limited resources.
Limited resources. If I had to, I could make fuel out of bullshit.
Why not? They make movie scripts out of it.
It's better than getting busted as a burner.
A burner, that's right, I am a burner. I burn illegal hot fuel.
I'm sure there's a pot joke in there somewhere, but I'm too lazy to think of one right now. But time for Red to explain to his son the philosophy of the entire movie.
I burn illegal hot fuel. And you know why? Because...
That's right. Even the movie isn't sure what point it's trying to make. To show his son why he still drives a car, Red decides to take Cameron for a spin. He still puts on a helmet though. They may be breaking the law, but safety first. This is like if Batman and Robin were played by the Dukes of Hazzard. Oh, and if you're wondering what Doug's role in the story is, he's a sheriff of the Department of Vehicle Control, or DVC, whose job is to stop burners, with deadly force if necessary. They're kinda like the DMV, but a little more pleasant to deal with.
All right, let's go bust a burner. Where's Dolan? Up in the hills playing Indian, probably.
Really? 'Cause to me it looks like he's reenacting the beginning to The Lion King. I'm not sure if this guy's meditating or having a transcendental orgasm. Anyway, the DVC spots the guy going to pick up the senator and chases after him. You know what? I take it back. Instead of Mad Max, this is reminding me more of Death Sport. Good thing the DVC are pros at what they do.
I had you right where I wanted you.
I'm your boss and you just shot at me. Say goodbye to your Christmas bonus.
Now listen, I want you to put one in this burner's block.
I can't miss.
Yeah. Pretend it's me.
But she missed you. And I think you guys might be overreacting a bit. The guy's only driving a car illegally. Just shoot out his tires and tell him to walk home. The burner runs into Pocahontas here, and if a bit of garbage was able to make this Indian cry, how's this guy gonna react to this gas guzzler? Holy shit! Well, that's one way to cut down on fossil fuel usage, I guess. That's for not buying a Prius, motherfucker. Well, he's dead. How's Cameron's driving lesson going?
Oh, you hated it, right?
Hate what?
What? The feeling, the...
No, I don't hate it.
I mean, it's not as good as my futuristic sex robot, but it's alright, I guess.
What is it?
It's another burner got burned.
Aren't you worried?
Me? No.
Really? 'Cause you fucking should be. Although, I am a little confused about the DVC's regulations.
How are you gonna explain 2 dead burners in 2 weeks?
What are you mad at him for? You were the one shooting at him earlier. And if you're not supposed to kill people, why the hell are you equipped with assault rifles and grenade launchers in the first place? Anyway, Red meets up with another burner called Indy, who also has a midlife crisis mobile.
Who's he?
It's Cameron.
Mm-hmm. Who's that?
My son.
Huh, you never mentioned you had a son before. I guess you really are a deadbeat. And it looks like there's another new burner in town.
Good girl.
Well, no shit. When did that happen?
My god, women able to drive vehicles? Has the whole world gone mad? This is Indy's daughter Jill, and let me guess, her and Cameron hook up? Okay, just checking. Time to see the sparks fly between these two.
Now, you see this here? Well, when I tell you, kind of move it up and down. You think you can handle that?
Okay, but I can only do it for about 30 seconds. Oh, and the car innuendos do not end there.
Okay, now put a little ass in it, rookie.
Ah, damn.
Did you find the tailpipe?
Ooh, she's a keeper. Not a lot of women will let you find the tailpipe on the first date. But there's something more important than their budding romance, and that's Red and Indy getting into a pissing contest over whose car is better.
Oh, come on, let's make it worthwhile. Championship of all of Silvermine County, and 50 gallons of gas.
Yeah, screw conserving a limited resource for the good of society. I want to do some fucking donuts!
This Firebird ain't run out yet. We're gonna fly, it'll never shoot us down.
Okay, if it seems like hardly anything's happened in the movie so far, that's 'cause it's true. Several minutes of the movie are devoted to people just randomly driving around. There's no awesome stunts, no action sequences, it's just people driving. Look, I get that driving can be a lot of fun, but when all you're doing is watching other people on screen drive with nothing really at stake, it's kind of boring. Maybe Cameron's driving lesson is more interesting.
This is the gear shift. Throwing more girls than picket fences.
Jill lost her virginity to that dune buggy, didn't she?
Okay, step on the clutch. No. Now push it in and hold it. But slip it in. Nice and easy.
Ever wanted to relive driver's ed, but with your teacher aggressively hitting on you?
This is first, down to second, up to third, and down to fourth. First, second, third, fourth. Ooh, that's nice. Ooh.
Okay, I get it. You're using driving as a metaphor for fucking. Cameron proves to be a bad student and crashes the buggy, but maybe this'll give these two time to get to know each other better.
What do you do when you're not driving around scaring the piss out of people?
I'm a silicone chip engineer.
A what?
I put together calculators.
Ah, yes. By 2015, calculators were so advanced that they could display up to 7 digits. Well, at least there's no more driving sexual innuendos.
Second time's always better than the first.
And Jesus Christ, you mean these two are still racing? Please tell me there's some people with guns nearby.
Just take it easy.
Don't take it easy. I've been watching them drive for over 10 minutes. Start shooting.
Where the hell?
I may be risking my life, but it's totally worth it not to have to take public transportation. I don't know if this affects their bet, but Jill and Cameron are busy making a deal of their own.
Well, I'll take you out for a ride if you show me Red's stash.
She means his other stash. There's a reason he's called a burner after all. Hey, I found that pot joke I was talking about earlier. Red is not gonna like this.
Have you seen anything of Jilly? I'm getting worried. What'd you do with my son?
Took him home with her. Who the hell knows?
Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows?
Okay, I don't know who convinced Darren McGavin to be in this movie, but God bless him because he's one of those actors who manages to be watchable no matter what he's in. I just wish he was trying to track down a vampire instead of driving around aimlessly. And did the government also outlaw nudity in the future? Jeez, I know this movie's rated PG, but you could be a little more sly about the fact that she's fully clothed here. Not to mention, we're over halfway through and Doug's hardly been in this movie. They keep talking about Crazy Horse here.
What are we gonna do, Jace?
About what?
Dolan.
Dolan's okay. I'll look after him.
How many drivers do we let him scratch? 2, 10, 20?
Go take another shower.
I didn't fight an army of rubber dinosaurs to take this shit from you. And again, if they're not supposed to kill burners, why the hell do they have all this military hardware? Are they supposed to use that grenade launcher to hand out tickets? Cameron shows Jill his dad's garage, which does not go over well with Red.
How'd you get in here?
I was dropped off.
You let...
Congratulations, Cameron, you just gave your dad a stroke. But now Jill and Red can tell Cameron just why they're burners.
A law that does not reflect the will of the people cannot be morally enforced.
Those that enforce unjust laws are in themselves, by their very acts, unjust.
Okay, here's my problem with the premise of this movie. If Red's right and there's still plenty of oil around, then why the hell would the government bring productivity to a screeching halt by outlawing the most common form of transportation? And if he's wrong and there really is an oil shortage, then he probably shouldn't be wasting a scarce resource going joyriding in his fucking sports car. No wonder the DVC's trying to nail his ass. Although Doug doesn't seem to be happy with their methods.
Firebird! I saw Firebird! I never saw two together like that before. My whole inside shook. Well, how the hell they get away?
Because he was too anxious. He fired a round off about 1,000 yards. He blew it.
You fired at that distance? What the hell's the matter with you?
They were just driving around for several minutes. I was bored as shit. And if they're upset with Dolan killing people, maybe they should take his grenade launcher away. It's gotta be pretty tough to shoot to wound with one of those. But Cameron still has some questions for his dad.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
Is the car the reason you and Mom split up?
Actually, it is. She walked in on him after he found the tailpipe. Red gets a message that the senator was never picked up, which surprises him, probably because he forgot that was even a plot line in this movie. Oh well, are Jill and Cameron up to anything interesting?
I was blind before I met you. You opened up my eyes. You taught me what it means.
Okay, the point is these two are in love and they decide to consummate it by having a literal roll in the hay.
It's smooth. And sexy.
Here's hoping their dirty talk isn't just them reading Auto Trader listings to each other.
Cam?
I gotta say, I was not expecting Jill to be a squirter. And hey look, PG boobies. Wait a second, if they're able to show that, then how come Policey McLady Mullet had to shower with her clothes on? Unfortunately, they're interrupted when some DVC thugs break in. I guess the C must stand for cock blockers. Also, the DVC's mad at Dolan for killing people, yet no one seems to care that the other officers have a serious rapey vibe. When did this movie turn into the beginning of I Spit on Your Grave? Well, that was at least a 15-foot fall, so I guess he must be dead. Jill gets taken to see Doug, and after getting assaulted and having her boyfriend seemingly killed in front of her, I'm sure she'll be happy to cooperate.
All you have to do is tell me where the Firebird is. That's all you have to do.
Right now, Doug's thinking, how the hell did I go from making out with Caroline Monroe to this? And is Jason Voorhees in this movie? Oh, it's just Cameron. I guess that second-story fall didn't kill him after all.
So what do we do now? We go get Jill.
Yeah, and you better hurry. I don't think she's safe here. Jesus, now Dolan's getting rapey? The DVC seriously needs to rethink its vetting process. That's it, Dolan. You keep on murdering and raping people, and I'm gonna be forced to dock your pay by 5%, pal! Red and Indy modify the Firebird to rescue Jill, which means we're finally gonna get an action sequence in this movie. Unfortunately, it looks like they had the same cinematographer as Blue Monkey. Time for Darren McGavin to show why he's the finest action star of his generation. And time for Doug McClure to pretend he's shooting at rubber dinosaurs again. He's trying to inject some excitement into this movie, don't stop him! The modifications to the Firebird seem to consist of adding a lighting rig to the front, which apparently also made it completely bulletproof. But whatever works, I guess. Oh no, not the psycho murderer rapist! Ugh. Good night, sweet prince. All things considered, this is a decent action sequence, which makes me wish they didn't wait until the last 10 minutes of the movie to have one. Oh, and I guess the lady DVC officer's on their side now? Considering what her co-workers are like, I don't blame her. And so the Burners rescue Jill. I think. I can't really see. And wasn't there a senator they were supposed to pick up?
20 minutes for the senator, Dad.
Oh, yeah, right.
Even Darren McGavin forgot that was a thing in this movie. The important thing is, they get to keep using a non-renewable resource which may or may not be in short supply. Plus, I think Red's about to get lucky.
You have a shower?
Oh, yeah.
Hot water?
Uh-huh. Yeah, I've also got a sauna.
You do?
Looks like somebody's gonna find the tailpipe tonight. So remember in my review of The Carpenter where I said it was too low-key and should have been more of a crazy exploitation film? Well, that goes double for this movie. The premise of a world where oil is scarce and driving is outlawed has some promise, even if the reasons they give in the movie don't make a whole lot of sense, which is why it's disappointing that so much of its runtime is spent just trying to show that driving is fun. That may be true in real life, but when there's barely any stunts or conflict, on film it's pretty dull. It's partly saved by Darren McGavin and Doug McClure, two actors that could play the roles they're given in their sleep. But if they weren't in this movie, I would have checked out long before I got to the end. So that's the end of part 3. There's only one more movie in the Canuxsploitation-A-Thon to go, and believe me when I say, I've saved the, best for last. Until next time.
Riding for my freedom. This Firebird ain't burnt out yet. We're gonna fly, they'll never shoot us down. We're riding for our freedom. This Firebird ain't burnt out yet. We're gonna fly, they'll never shoot us down. I've got a tiger on my tail, but it won't take me.
Ooh, that's nice. Ooh. Yeah, you got it. Okay.